Good morning. Good morning. Good afternoon. How's everybody? Good afternoon. Excuse me. Welcome to the folks on YouTube. I'm JJ. This is the tradingsyndicate.org or tradingsyndicate.org. And we are here to pump you up. No, we're here to pump up your wallet. Oh boy. Should be a pretty slow day. It should be a pretty slow day. Tomorrow markets are closed. I'm sure there'll be some sort of electronic session, but we're done today after this. At 11 o'clock this morning, I'm going to do another sort of, what do we call them? Execution class, and it will be recorded. Tomorrow's a holiday. You guys still have energy to do that, or are you guys all already in holiday mode? I know a lot of people will be into holiday mode. No shame in that. I'll do the class. Hey, you know what? If 3 or 4 people show up, it'll be worth it, right? I had a client cancel his 11 o'clock, so I'll do it. And what else? What else? Okay, overnight inventory is long, and it's corrected a bit. You know, it's did this. It did the little run up. You know. Okay. I already have other people canceling on me for their one-on-ones. It's the 4th, right? It's summer. Gotta have some fun. Okay, so this gap we filled, I should take that off. Honestly, I don't know if we're going to break out of yesterday's range. I think we're just going to go back and forth. And quite frankly, we are going to basically take this inventory and try and sell it here. So let's watch this 75.56 level, okay? If we can stay above it, we can take the bulk of this crap from earlier in the session and lose it here, make a little bit of cash before the long weekend, right? Nothing too ambitious. And if we take out the 50s, we come back and test the close here at 35. Sounds like a plan? All right, let's go with that and see how it shakes out. Half hour chart wise. You can see your levels here. You know where the stops are, right? To the upper side, your stops are there. Just like on the 1 minute chart where I say there's where the sellers are going to be. Same deal, right? So there's your upper stop, and this will be your lower stop here. So it'll be just under 55, upper just at, what is that? 66 quarter. Just back and forth here. This is where the inventory is. If we could maybe sell it, just kind of go like this. That might be something. I mean, that's order flow supporting, right? Every plan, you need the order flow to support it. I'm still working off this 32 to 55 balance, and 4 times cost basis is just up here in the 88s. So let's see, we're still in distribution. Should be a fairly calm day. Yeah. If you are trading tomorrow, remember that the market closes at 1 Eastern. Okay? So it'll be closed tomorrow from 1 o'clock Eastern to 6 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday. Alrighty. Oh. You can see I've been away from the computer. I haven't traded at all today. I've just been like running around doing stuff. Kind of chilling. Inside day. We're in yesterday's cost basis. We're in yesterday's inventory range, No big deal. If you are trading today, just find some nice edges. That's all you got to do. Find yourself a nice edge and trade with the business. No need to get into a fight before the long weekend, you know what I mean? Life is simple. So if you're looking at this 1 minute chart, what stands out? Reclaimed? Like reclaiming the earth in a mining deal? Sure, yeah. We took our inventory, sold it up here over 68 for a few minutes, and had to put it back on sale, but we still are a bit above VWAP. And what else is going on before the open? So the bid was here, and now it's moved up here. So before the open, these are the levels you want to mark off, right? If you're a trader, you guys would call them support levels. I would say that's where the bids are. It's always good to know where the bid is, right? If you don't know where the bid is, how are you going to do business? How do you put that into practical terms? look at how the bid moved up every minute. Boom, boom, boom. Look at that. We're going to be talking about this kind of stuff. Have a good weekend, Milo. Have fun. Go get into some trouble for me. So say you're short, right? Say you're short off of that seller, off of that 62 seller. Go put some bids here, right? Because you know they're buying here. You're going to want to buy and try and buy one back. So if you're short 60, try and buy back a 56, then put a 55, then put a 54 buy order. And that way you'll get filled as the market comes down, right? There you go. Nice. Now let's see if it holds 52 and a quarter on the open. Okay. Now you have some tactical information about where to trade before the open. The reason, guys, is you're nowhere near an edge. There's no edge for you to trade. So if you are a fast trader, you will find an edge in the candles. But remember, that edge might not last long. So your trade time is going to be 90 seconds tops in some of these trades. So prepare yourself for that pre-open. Right? If you need to know the temperature of the water before you jump into it, right? This way you're not trading with a paper bag on your head, right? You're not completely blind, just flailing about. So watch that 52 quarter. Let's see if we can take that out. See how it slows a little bit as soon as we get down there? Look how it's slowing down. And the offer is trying to lift to see if we can get people to buy over 55, 56. But if we can't, see, look, watch. There you go. Pay attention to these things. They make the difference between saying things are random and actually knowing what's going on. All righty, off we go. Come test that 52 bid. I want to see what's lurking under VWAP, right? What's shaking here? I'll give it another 30 seconds. I don't mind. I don't have to buy the lows or short the highs. It's a little choppy right off the open. There you go. There's that bid. Now you know there's going to be a seller here. You know there are buyers here. So you got a 52 to 62 box that you're playing in. Where are you right now? You're kind of in the middle of it. Let's see if they can offer up over 58. There we go. Look for resistance at 61, 62. If we blow out the 62s, you're looking for 65 and then up here at 70. Okay? Look, they stepped in front. They sold it. They sold it. Now let's see where the bid is. Right? They sold there. Ooh, a little bit of a buyer. So if you're a breakout trader, you want to be buying it over 52, 53. And it's got to come back and hold 62, 63. That's a false breakout. A lot of people get suckered into buying that because they see price jump and they jump with price. And the large sellers who bought the 54s, they hammer it here at 60. Right? You'd have to be nuts if you didn't. Well, let's take a run for the border. Right? Is the 53s. Can we take out the 65s? Sorry, 63s. There's 65. Right? There you go. Long 60, selling that 65. Thank you. I'll take it. Just taking a couple of points here and there, right? It told you about that trade. That's the trade we wanted. And we're flat, right? We cleared the 60, right? Most breakouts are false. The first one was false. The first one was like when they pull back the thing on a gun. Then finally they chambered the bullet. But you gotta sell into that, right? That's the only reason I bought that, was to show you, yeah, you can buy a breakout. But man, you gotta be quick. You can't screw around, right? The people who have the luxury of screwing around, and believe me, they don't, are the $100 million traders plus. But they trade fast, you know? See how it's holding 60 now? Or not? Is that 60, 61? Right where the white line is. That was resistance. Now it's turned into support. Why? Because the position is underneath. That was resistance. Now it's support. Now they're going to take that and sell it here. Capiche? Understand? Oh, yeah, Milo. The TPO chart. Rats. Thanks for the reminder. Good. I need you guys to get it. These little details, if you think about how simple it is, right? It's not rocket science, right? You build a position and then you cut off the supply and you make the people chase. And when they chase, you hammer them with it, right? It's not, we're not, this is not cold fusion, right? This is not string theory or cold fusion, you know. I know people in finance like to think they're really smart. And there are some really smart people, you know, but we're not splitting the atom here. You buy a little something and you sell it for a profit, right? And then you take your money and you scurry away and come back with the next opportunities there, you know? We're like scavengers, right? We're not moving anything, we're not building anything, right? These guys are moving their inventory. We're trying to catch a ride on the back of the truck. We're like those kids on the skateboards who grab onto the back of the car. That's what we are. Yeah, it's good distribution. Let's sell a little bit before the long weekend, right? Now we're distributing, right? Maybe on a look above and fail, Pollux, yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Take that high now and mark it. You'll notice it lines up right there with that one, right? So say you are shorting, right? Say you're short right here. You're short right in the middle here. There's your out. And you need the market to offer under 64. That's why I would rather wait till it looks above, does this kind of crap, and then comes back in. You see how seller moved down. So here you could short the 70s, put your stop at 71, 72, and then bid the 64s. I'll let you take that short first. I'll wait. So we're only 8 minutes in. The buying's not exhausted yet, right? See, there's 71 and a 3/4. Now let's see. Let's let them work it. I'll wait till the next candle opens. I don't have to get the highest print. I don't have to get the highest print. I need confirmation that the sellers are competing. So I'm short one at 70, and I'm covering at 65. That was nice. I should have done more, but I was slow. So I was short 75.70, stop at the top of that candle, so basically 71, right? And then I covered at 65. There you go, Pollux. Look above and fail. And it was beautiful this time, right? I wanted to short it here. I forced myself to wait till it came back down. Would have been the same entry anyway, and I wouldn't have gotten stopped out. Nice trade, 5 points on one contract. Beautiful. 69 and 3/4 down to 66. 3 points. That's a beautiful thing. And it's kind of slow enough that we saw it happening in slow motion. It feels nice to take a short and have it just drop, you know? That was like the old days when you short something and it would actually go down. Instead of shorting something and having it go against you, you're like, ah, right? It's such a satisfying feeling when you short something and it just drops. It's like, oh. It doesn't happen often in this market. Hey, Kevin. Sorry, I didn't see you there. Okay. I'm done. Can we go home now? Look at this. Look at these bids. Oh, goodness. I'm just curious if we can take out that overnight high. I started playing with this new balance, so I don't know if it's any good. I saw 2 balance zones on this chart. I'm just going to watch it to see if, I'm bored. I'm going to watch and see how well it works. Yeah, I feel like one of those kids like who's just waiting for the school bell to ring so we can start summer holidays. And maybe I'm going through my second childhood. Huh? They said that this would happen. Mm. Now, my short sellers, be careful if we accept over 74, okay? This is your sort of danger zone, right? Like in Top Gun, highway to the danger zone. That's your danger zone is 74. Be careful if we accept over that. See? Because there was a mess of sellers there before. If those coconuts see buyers, they're going to lift the price up to 78. Just for fun, right? Look at it. Look how thin the volume is on the way up. Nothing. Boom. They just shut the supply off. Close to 78. Oh, I was close. I was off by 2 ticks. Huh. Not bad. Not bad for an old fart, but 78 was my call. We stopped short. Bearish? Before the 4th of July? Teen. You can't be bearish before the 4th, man. That's just wrong. That's just wrong. Good. At least you didn't act on it, right? Uh, as Crazy Murdoch would say, I'm JB Murdoch, and the B is for bullish. I miss that crazy bastard. 1, 2, 3, 4. Need another 4 of these. Yeah, you meet some real characters when you work in boiler rooms. $76.23? Hmm. It's unpatriotic to be bearish before the 4th. Sacrilege. I'm not even American. I'm Canadian. Now, can we get above and stay above that high? How many people are short under, let's play a game. How many people are short under VWAP, number one, who added to it here on this move down? Because it looks like they all went to cover in the last 5 minutes. It was Canada Day yesterday, yes. But that area where we had all those sellers at 74, that should be support. Oh, once again, this is distribution. It's going to take some time to see if it sticks, right? Do any of you remember trading before they introduced the PDT rule? They've gotten rid of it now. Do you? Do you remember how like a stock would like move in like 20 minutes and then just dump? Like there'd be like a move for 20 minutes, half an hour, and then it would just dump, right? There used to be a ton of people that we used to call flippers, and you could get them all to come in and buy. Like you'd have to pay them. They'd come running in and buy. And then as soon as the next wave of buying would come, they'd sell into it, dump into it. No, the PDT rule was one in the States where they wanted to shut down day trading because people were losing so much money day trading that they said, look, you can't day trade unless you got 25 grand in your account. They just got rid of it, though, a couple of weeks ago. But the point of my story was that, yeah, you had to have a minimum of 25K. Well, there was a lot of people who had like 2K and they were day trading. Yeah, they just got rid of it. Yeah. But what we used to do is to see if buying stuck, because you'd have so many people who came and flipped in and out that you wouldn't get these patterns like this. It wouldn't go up and stabilize and then go up again and stabilize and go up. It'd be like a lot of this, right? Yeah, 2 instead of 25, right? Bit of a wild west. Yeah, that's right. Three day trades in a 5 rolling day period. That's what it was. Yeah. Now all they got to do is get rid of Reg SHO and we're in business. Okay, on this chart here, remember I had a level 75.88 and a half. I wonder if it's going to work. We get any kind of a tickle there. Yeah, 75.88 and a half. Let's see if we can get above that. Could you show us what you were looking at to get your overnight cost basis? Oh, ha! China, sorry. If you watched the earlier video, the morning video, I admit that I cheated. The levels that I used were the same as yesterday. So when I did these levels, I did them back yesterday. What time was it? I did them here, I think. Yesterday or even the day before. Sorry, the day before. So yeah, it was right here. Right. And yeah, I was lazy today because it was an inside day for most of the night. I just kept the levels as is. Sorry, I should have said that before we started. Yeah, Keith, that was for a margin, yeah. I don't know if I'd want to be short if it sticks the 88s. Let's see what we got for longer term stuff. It's 76.01 and then 76.16 and 3/4. It's yeah, you can see where I've got the 1 minute on the left, the half an hour on the right. I would say there's quite a few people trapped short, eh? I would think there's a lot of people who shorted underneath 7,500. I think there's a lot of people who shorted under here and then added to it here. Because this half hour, they all went to cover at the same time. Right? Look at the size of that green candle. It's from 75.50 to 75.88. And it's still going. It's still cooking at 90. That's a big candle. it happens. People get caught short, they add to it, they all go to cover at the same time. And you can see that so clearly on these charts. Wow. Good stuff, all right. That's all we want. They don't have to be the same. They just need to work for you, right? That's the beautiful thing. I mean, it's early. We're, not that far from 7,600. See, you don't want to be bearish before the fourth. Now let's see if we can stay above 75.88 and a half. It could be a look below, look above and fail, right? It could be a look above and fail of 70. I mean, let's be open. If you are shorting under 88 and a half, like you're shorting the 87s, right? I mean, your stop is 88 and a half, 89, and you're going to find out real quick now where the bid is, right? Go put your buy orders in, right? So you're short 87, you cover one at 85 and a quarter, another one at 85. Go bid in, bid, 84 half, right? I got a couple left. I'm gonna take them back here. I'm buying them back in the 85s. There's, no need to get greedy. 87 short, took them back in the 85s. Just a couple of points on 5 or 6. That's just a really quick look above and fail of 75.88 half, right? Everybody understand the trade? Now, this half-hour candle is going to close in 4 minutes. If in 4 minutes the next half-hour candle opens and the high of that candle can't get back over 75.88, you're going to look for lower, right? That is a look above and fail. I micromanaged that trade on the 1 minute candle using a half an hour level. So once again, I wanted to trade that area, so I went and detailed in with the microscope. Do you guys understand what I'm trying to teach you guys? How to make a couple of points? 2 points, 5 contracts. Yes, no. Right, the mechanics, right? This is the important stuff, guys. This is the important stuff. Now you can go back to sleep. Okay? You can all go back to sleep now. That was the only important thing. Now, if you're still short, right? You're okay. Right? You're still short, you're fine. As long as we're not back over 89. Let's call it 89. Right? The levels are working, right? The levels are working. 88 and a half was a beautiful level. First it stopped there to the tick. Then it ran it for a couple of minutes and then straight back down. Right? Now, why are they selling there? Well, because that is 4 times cost basis. Cost basis is 74.33 to 55. This is the top of 4 times that. You're making 4 times on your money. You would have to have rocks in your head if you were not selling that level. Right? That's why they all came in. right? I like being in and out and done quickly. I don't like drama trades. The worst is when people get involved in a company and then they get like emotionally attached to it, and then the CEO is gonna do. No, I don't want drama. Just give me the chart. Let me get in, get out. If I never speak to the CEO, I'll be happy. Nothing good comes from that. I just want to look at the chart. Now we've got some 85 bids here. They're selling the 87s. And Raj was right. This half hour feels like an hour and a half. At least we got one good trade out of it. There you go, Dave. Definitely Bowhound too. Definitely. You know what I miss? I miss the broker lunches when public companies would buy brokers and traders lunch at some fancy restaurant just to hear the company's pitch and maybe buy some stock. Those were the best. Oh boy. So you guys still on board with the? Oh, definitely. At least one's free steak, Zaza. At least one. Oh, what's going on here? So people always ask me why I have this TPO chart. It's just something I was used to. If you don't have market profile, you can just run a half-hour candle chart, and then if you want to zoom into that neighborhood there, you zip. There you go. You can see everything in detail, right? Oh, little distribution up here again, right? Little back and forth. Every time they see a little bit of interest, they raise the offer, pull price up, see if people will chase it. Right? It's like that those dances. It's a dance back and forth, back and forth. Little bits of buying come in, and then it's like the ebb and flow of buying. No, it doesn't matter, Jimmy. The one thing you're going to learn over time, Jimmy, which I learned was you don't have to be insane. Like you want to try and be as precise as you can, but don't obsess over it. Don't obsess over a tick or two. I used to do that too. So I'm just telling you, it'll kind of relax you. You're going to be off a little bit here and there. Don't worry about it. Yeah, well, and also don't have the hair fall out of your head because you're worried about a tick, you know? I find that when I was trying to be too precise, I was like too tense. You want to try and be as like relaxed as you can when you're doing this. And I know it's hard, especially when you don't know what you're doing at first, right? Because it's money. You don't want to lose the money, right? Now it seems like we're getting over 88.5. This candle, this half-hour candle looked underneath it and came back up. And, you know, the bids are moving higher. Now we know there's a seller up here at 94. So let's see what they do as they come in. There's that 94 level. Do you guys want TPO or do you want the half hour? What do you guys prefer? On the right, do you guys prefer the half hour or the TPO? Okay. Okay, cool. See, look, good distribution up here, right, folks? Look at that. Beautiful. They're making good sales up here. Well, I took a quick scalp, right, Italian trader? Now, if I'm watching this, watch 88.5. This period's just opened, right? So it's got a bit of spunk here, but I'd mark 88.5 out now on the 1 minute and look for offers underneath. You know that there's buyers here. So you'd probably want to be shorting here and then put your bids down if you're looking for a short, right? If you were trading size, Italian trader, that's what it means to wait for the next candle. Because this next candle, I would rather pay a little less. Like, I'd rather be short at 84 down to 70 and then get it wrong. I don't mind paying a little bit more. I don't mind being a little lower on the short on the entry so I can get some confirmation, especially if I'm putting on size. You know, if it's scalping like I did with a couple of contracts, no big deal. But if I'm putting on 20 or 50 contracts in size at a level, I don't mind waiting, right? Because I want to keep my business expenses low. Because if I put on full size, then I have to take off and then add, take off and add. Those are transaction costs. You're losing money, that kind of thing. So this way you wait and see. Give it some time, right? As they say, let them caramelize the onions, right? So what I'm looking for is I'm looking for 88.5, especially if I want a short. Because today is like a Friday before a long weekend, right? This is a long weekend, 4th of July. You generally don't want to try and position short that, right? It's not a trigger, it's confirmation. Exactly, right? Exactly. It's confirmation. Because if you're trading size, you need some confirmation. Otherwise, it gets expensive, right? If you put on 50 contracts short and you have to go cover them 2-3 points higher, that's a lot of cabbage. So how about we wait and see, right? Let these guys work it out. Because tomorrow markets are closed. Everyone's gone. And generally, from what I remember, I don't have it statistically proven. Someone could go to the AI and pull up the stat. Generally, I think markets are always higher before the 4th of July. From what I remember anyway. Because I always remember the 4th, everyone's in a really good mood. You know, like when I was down in the States on the 4th, you trade for your clients. They'd invite you down to their like summer cottages, which were more like houses, for the 4th. And everyone was really happy. So generally the markets were good from what I remember, right? So I don't like being positioned short going into a long weekend. I told you the story of my friend who shorted a stock before a long weekend. Shorted the stock Thursday, had a whole bunch of money in his account when the market closed. Went to the Mercedes dealership, picked up a brand new coupe. We had a great weekend, man. We partied all weekend. Monday morning before the market opens, they railed the stock up like $30 and compliance bought them in. And suffice to say, the Mercedes got returned that afternoon. Right? That's why you don't short on a long weekend, man. You don't short on a long weekend. Right? If you do, close out the position. It was funny though. But we had a great weekend. We had a lot of fun. Okay, so we got a bit of a seller at 88.5, right? That's what I'm looking for. On these candles, you mark off that 88.5 and you put your sells in, Even if you get a little late, like say you got 84, right? Put some bids in. The natural place they're going to buy it back is yesterday's high, right? So this is the short that you were looking, right? So there you go. You see confirmation. Now position short, I don't know, but I'll take a scalp. I'll take it from 84 down to 82 for a couple. Why not? I'll take that money, right? Quick in and out, right? And as soon as they find a bid, as soon as they show me a bid, I'll cover. Now, when the next candle opens, you can see where the sellers are right there. There we go. Now, if you get that seller down under 82 and you're short 84, well, now you're having a good time, right? Boom! I covered at 80 on the last contract. Nice. That's what we're talking about, Pollux. Now, somewhere they're going to find the bid, right? But you could see the seller, right? Right? 88.5 could not hold. They started selling underneath it. They sold. They trapped all these poor suckers here. There's the volume. Oh yeah, don't worry. It's going to 7,600. Don't worry. Don't worry. I guarantee. You're going to have a great weekend, right? Buy the 75.90s and then boom, right back down to 78, right? Those helicopters out to the Hamptons do not fly themselves. Okay? I was watching Novogratz. Yeah. I was watching Novogratz and Scaramucci on their YouTube thing, and they were saying how it's 10 grand for a weekend to rent a house in the Hamptons. That's a lot of cabbage. You want to know why there's such big red and big green candles? Because it costs money to go to the Hamptons for the 4th of July. That crap's not cheap. Now here we're back up over 88.5 again. Be careful if this thing sticks. Right now think about how many people are short from 80 to 85. We're going to find out right now. Next on The Price is Right, if we got enough people trapped underneath 85, they're all going to start to go and try and cover at 92, which will mean we'll put in a new high. But if there's not enough fuel yet, we'll rotate back down to the 84s, right? Poor high. They're coming for it. Yeah, I didn't really follow all the drama there, Hex. He was on our podcast a few years ago. I like the guy. He was funny. He reminded me a lot of the guys I used to work with from New York. Everyone had an Uncle Sal. Okay. Poor high. They're selling into it. Let's see if we get back to 88.5. Do we get a surprise stop run? Ah, Goldman. That would have been a good university to go to, the School of Goldman. No, not enough firepower yet to take out the 95s. That's okay. See if we can move that point of control up here. Got to print another 2,000 contract so one of these ticks. It's kind of bopping around a bit. This could be a distribution. Well, it is a distribution. What am I saying? Duh. I'd kind of say there. Yeah, there, that low, that low. A look below. Exactly, Himalaya. Exactly. It's a distribution balance, right? Or distribution cost basis, right? This is where we're making sales. Such a beautiful thing. You know, take all that inventory from under 75, 65 and just gently sell it up here between 80 and 90. I mean, what more could you want before a long weekend? See if that seller's still there, right at the top of that box, around 92.5. Yeah, you could easily just go and, you know, if you came in just now, you would just go like that and then just draw a new balance zone, right? So there's your balance. And you just trade that back and forth. And the other thing that's going to do is that's going to give you, what's that going to give you? It's going to give you targets. So when it drops, you can drop it down 2 times to see where the bottom's going to be. Or if it pops, you're going to move it up 2 times, right? Very simple. Yeah, it's almost like a double top, Keith. It's a poor high, which was an automatic short, and you can tell that I've got weekend brain on my mind because I completely missed that. Like a lookout block in football. Anything else, you guys? Okay, you guys up for an 11 o'clock? I'm going to put it in here again. So execution class at 11, and it will be recorded. I will place the link in the room. Cool. Okay, that's good, Keith. Yeah. So what you want to be doing is you want to be buying like 83, 84, and then selling 88, 89. Yeah. Of course, it's open for new people. It's just in our Discord at Trading Syndicate. I do them at least once a week, and what we do is we really drill down on execution because that's where our analysis is really simple. You know, the more simple the analysis, the easier it is to execute. If you have really complicated analysis, execution is really very it's not smooth. You know, because we are not computers. So we have to train ourselves to execute. And that's what we do. You know, because this is a business where like some days you execute so well. Like so well. And then other days you just oh man, it's like you're stepping on everyone's toes. Oh, it's like you're clumsy off. And it's not you, it's that the market has changed the agenda. And you don't know that the market's changed the agenda and you're trying to trade the old agenda, but you don't know that business has changed while you were like asleep. Right? So we teach you how to adapt to that, how to have ways to know when the market's changing because you have a method of trading. And in that method, when things start going wrong, instead of getting angry, it's giving you feedback so you can course correct, right? That's the whole thing. So if we break underneath 80, all the poor souls that we trapped in this little box, right? You can think of it as, you know, these are the people who are in the Houdini experiment, right? They all volunteered to be locked into this box, hoping for this. But now, if that doesn't happen, this inventory will come tumbling out. And I'll be looking for 72 on the downside. One of the clues is that we'll accept underneath the overnight high from the Globex. If we can't get underneath 76 and stay under 76, careful on that short. That's where there's going to be buying, if there is any. Okay? So if you are shorting 83, put some 78 buy orders in. Watch the offers. If the offers come back up over 83, be careful. Right? 66 would be beautiful. Just a couple of like that would be like a soft landing above VWAP. That would be a beautiful trade. Right? 83, 82 down to 86. I mean 66, sorry. That's beautiful. Might get it right now. Let's see. Oh, hey, AO, what's going on, man? How you doing? It's tradingsyndicate.org. How's London treating you? Well, the heat's gone now, right? Back to regular temperature. I haven't even read the news today. Yeah, we found a bid. Still in distribution, right? Now, let's switch gears. If we reclaim this blue box, this cost basis, then we'll just rotate back up to 93. If we can't, then what market profile people, what they do is they double it to the downside. That's where we get these weird colors from, right? So we would take this and double it to the downside to get a target, and we'd be looking for 62, right? On a break, right? These candles are like a little tough to trade. Well, you got to really wait for the next one because like you'll get a move down and then it'll just come and take the top right out and then it's just a bit of a pain. Right? But remember I told you there would be bids at 79 because of the previous day high and the overnight high. Right? We were talking about 76. We got down to 76 but we couldn't push underneath. Not just yet. Bids below, yeah, those are short covering bids, right? Especially that 76 bid. And you can see we just came right down to it when I was drawing those red boxes. Pretty cool stuff. The thing about this is these algos are so precise. If you get a cost basis nicely done, right? Here we go. Come on. There we go. There we go. We broke that. Oh, come on. Look at that. Come on, sell into it. There we go. There we go. There. Down to 72. Come on, 66. A nice gentle landing at VWAP or a point or two above it would be nice. Perfect. That's pretty much it, folks. Now what's happening is the people who are trapped long above 83, they're all competing to try and get out of this thing. There are a good amount of trap shorts between 73 and a half and 79. You can see them just bound, bang, 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 bang. It's like a mosh pit, right? Look at that. It's just, it's like Lollapalooza 1993, right? And you're slam dancing in the mud. Look at it just back and forth, right? Everyone's fights for the flow. Anyway. Oh, that's good, Hex. Good, good, good. Oh, man. See, every time a retail trader makes money and is consistently profitable, an old market maker like me gets his wings. Okay, folks. Thanks so much. Have a great long weekend. The rest of you, I will see in half an hour in the Discord room. Have a wonderful 4th of July to all my friends in the States. Be safe. Have some potato salad for me because I'm not allowed to eat that stuff anymore. Take care, everyone. Have a great long weekend. What are we doing in the group? In half an hour, our couriers, we are having another session on execution. So if you sign up to the room, I think you get the AI for free, if I'm not mistaken. Right. So every week I do at least one or two uh, sessions. I'm always around. You can message me in the room, all that sort of thing. It's a good community. It's not like the bang your fist on your chest kind of trading community. People help each other, and I'm always lurking around. So if you need any help, I'm always around. Cool. I will see you guys in half an hour. Thank you. Have a wonderful long weekend. Have a great 4th of July. It's the 250, right? It's a big 4th of July. Enjoy it and be safe. And have some Jello salad for me. Thanks, everyone. Bye for now. Be safe out there.